everybody. How is everybody doing? So I have something really exciting today. So I have a live with Stephanie. But as you guys all know, the 22nd is today, and so the bathing ritual is today. So if you have not had a salt bath with frankincense yet, please do it within, I would say 24 hours of, hold on, let me get the time right, 2 p.m. It's 7 here now. So, gosh, I'm terrible at maths. Let's say within the next 12 hours, guys, okay? It will be really, really effective for you, and you will feel a difference tomorrow. So I'm just looking at this. We're telling you your followers. Okay. So I hope we don't have any tech issues today. Oh, there we are. Somebody has joined. Hello. I'm just waiting for Stephanie to arrive. We have a beautiful live planned. We're going to talk about saying yes to life. So the Princess of Wands, hello my darling, and Vicky, hi. Just waiting for Stephanie to join me. She should be with me any minute. So I'm just keeping an eye out for her. It's actually our first time doing a live together, so it's going to be fun. Hello. So yeah, I'm literally just keeping an eye out for Stephanie for a minute, guys. So again, I hope all of you did the bathing ritual today. If you didn't, please go to the community page. Here she is. Please go to the community page and check out the details. It's basically a salt bath with some frankincense oil in it. There we go. Yay. Hello, Jane. That's Jane. Shine Your Light from Australia. She's the coordinator of Australia. Hello, gorgeous.
Hi.
So exciting, isn't it?
So excited. We are here.
Exactly. Let me just move my camera a bit. There we go. Oh, it's sort of wiggling about. There we go. That's better.
Your hair is so fabulous. Look at this.
Say that again, darling.
Your hair is so fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it definitely takes a bit of work. I had the roots done yesterday, and then the colour went in. So this is when it's looking its best. Thank you. But then look at yours, darling. You look like a shampoo advert. Let's be honest.
Dry shampoo is the secret.
Ah, okay. My mum's a fan, and I have friends that are fans. I don't know. I don't always get on with it that well, but I know that if it makes mine look like that, then I might try again. How's your day been, darling?
I have to be honest. First of all, is my volume okay?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
And mine?
You're great on my end. They can let us know if not. So I was so looking forward to this. It has been one of those weeks for me. Please tell me if this resonates with you too. It's just been like, what the hell is going on? Oh my God.
Yes.
It's just been that kind of, like, the past couple of days have felt so intense.
Yeah.
I have actually been like in this energy of frustration and just feeling like, all right, we need to take this bath. We need to get centered. And that's what we did today. And
I can tell you what it is. So basically, there was a time when, for advanced women, once you had gotten your ego under control and you knew your weaknesses and your pressure points, that you could maintain a very, very even vibe. And a lot of us have gotten so used to that has become the norm. Okay, it's not the norm for everybody, but for us in this group of advanced women, it's the norm. Now, what's happened is, as we are progressing into 5D, as the world is moving into this part of the universe, this really high vibes, all this really amazing transitional stuff and transformational stuff is happening on the planet, the resistance is changing tact. So I was just talking to my business partner and master coach about this, because she said basically the same thing, but with swearing, like, what the fuck's going on? Like, you know, and I said to her, what's happening is, it's not just internal shadow now working against us. There is some external, and the way that the external appears is as whispers. And so basically you're hearing stuff that's trying to make you feel frustrated. But by you becoming aware of the fact that there is noise coming from outside that's trying to get you triggered, it actually helps, because then you're like, I know what you're up to. I'm not falling for it. Does that make sense?
I knew you would help make sense of that. Chaos.
And of course, what's chaos? The shadow, the darkness, that's what they want, is the chaos. So whenever anyone's trying, for me, it's more been people really close to me, like getting really frustrated about things or getting upset about things, and I'm able to be like, no, darling, you are, you know, this, and I'm able to sort of calmly explain it, but it's because I'm aware of what's going on. This is not, and I don't want to throw everybody off with this, but it's just literally those that have done a lot of work on themselves have become comfortable in their peace, and that peace is being shaken right now by external whispers that sound very similar to your higher self and your guidance, and that's why they're tricky little buggers. Yeah.
The trickiest.
Sneaky little buggers, that's what they are.
I'm going to call them that from now on.
Yes. So the best thing you can do is pinpoint what they're trying to make you do. So again, with someone very close to me, we pinpointed 3 things that they're trying to make her do. Put distance between her and person A, put distance between her and person B, and make her physical body, something C. So that's hers. So now she knows. With myself, they've been trying to draw me towards people from my past that I'm not to be around, because if I'm around them, it will lower my vibration. So that's who I'm not to, that's what mine's been trying to do. And then when it's not doing that, I'll have to think about what that's its main thing, because obviously it has a difficult job with me, because every time it does something, I'm like, thank you, now I know how to not put up with your rubbish. So
all out of the greater good, right? All just more layers to peel back so we can just expand into the fullest expressions of what we're here to do, right?
Exactly. And the thing is that it is a battle, it is a battle. And the spiritual path, as I was talking yesterday with the Vedic astrologer, sometimes the path is rocky and rubbly, sometimes it disappears completely, and then other times it's bright and it's like a shining light showing you the way. The path changes as you move along it. And what's happened again with people like ourselves, we're used to the path being a certain way. Well, of course, we've gotten into our comfort zone, even if our comfort zone isn't like other people's, but that comfort zone means that now they're like, oh, okay, let's change the environment. Let's make the path look different. So maybe the path doesn't feel like you can glide on it on roller skates anymore, like what we were used to. Does that make sense?
Yes. And now more than ever, that is why communities like what you're building, what you're leading are more crucial than ever, because it's not like sure, there are so many communities out there that we know, but when you and I first had our conversation, you had mentioned it was this piece of real sisterhood.
Yes.
And I think that is really truly what's missing in so many of these communities. It's not really, they're not containers where you can fully show up as you and be heard and understood and seen. And so someone like you and the work and the magic that you're creating a space like that where women can show up and express themselves fully. And so
absolutely. And the thing is there are communities, but there's something different about ours, and it is, I guess, it's because we are organized, we have coordinators, we have groups, so we there is someone to go to if you're not happy about something, or if you want to suggest something, you can do that, and everyone can interact with me directly. Like everyone who's ever messaged me knows I always message back, to everybody, and I'll always do that as long as it's physically possible. And so it's just different because, and today, of course, we did our ceremonial bath. Did you take part in the bath, darling?
Yes, I did.
Oh, wonderful. So you should be feeling good, but you'll really feel the benefits tomorrow. What I say is that my angels sing immediately after the bath, but it's the next day for a lot of people that it really kicks in. So allow 24 hours for it to do its thing, maybe a good night's rest, that kind of thing.
And how perfect that the universe delivered on a platter last night 3 different types of sea salt when we were out to eat. The man and I had date night. We were out at a steakhouse. We asked for salt, and they bring 3 types of sea salts. Like, of course this happens.
Yes, exactly,
Abundance
exactly.
all around.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I mean, I literally poured so much salt in my bath today. I was a little bit worried about my hair. Oh, this is a funny story though. That I wonder how many can relate to this, because again, myself and Alicia were talking about this, and basically, obviously, I went to the hairdressers yesterday, went through the whole bleaching process, then came home, did all the colouring process. My hair was done. Like, I have never needed less to wash my hair than I did today. Does that make sense? So today, for this bath, part of the rules was dunk your head, you know? So I've never wanted to less dunk my head, because I was like, I've flatlined it, it's got product, I mean, it's done. And the thing was that I spoke to Alicia today, and she'd been busy on calls, and I was like, honey, you need to do the bath today. And I was like, and you must dunk your hair. She was like, honey, I washed my hair yesterday. It took forever to dry. She has hair like ours, you know. And she was like, oh, I really don't want to wash my hair. I was like, I know. That's exactly how I felt. So I wonder how many other people felt that way today. Because it was almost like, because it was a part of it. Does that make sense? That it was like resistance. And funnily enough, though, I actually like that I washed it, because my greeny blue is a nicer color now. It was a bit bright yesterday. So
you are coming with that color.
Exactly. So our topic for today, guys, I know we're doing a bit of the thing is, we're getting to know each other live in front of you. We've spoken on the phone and we just connected, and we were just like, oh, love you, let's do this. But we're still getting to know each other this way. So the subject of today is saying yes to life, but I think it'd be wonderful if you could give a little bit of background about yourself and you know, your journey and how you got to this space where you are now.
Absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity. So I was not always someone that said yes to life. I probably said no a lot more. And yeah, it's been this ongoing journey, and not an easy one by any stretch. And so, you know, there were a lot of things that had to be healed. And my ego at a certain time was just far too thick to see it, right? And so I did the conventional thing. I signed my life off to a 9-to-5, and I sat at the desk and did what I was told. And I always felt like I was different and not really made to follow the rules, but I didn't know how to give myself permission to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I mean, as women, how often are we taught that we can command what we want and really go after it? And so it was this bubble that I was in for a long time. And I turned to a lot of things, you know, there were men, and there was drinking every weekend and all the things. There was an eating disorder. And so, you know, it got to a point where I just knew that I needed to really figure this thing out. And honestly, it was the spiritual path that greeted me with open arms, and life changed for me on the yoga mat. Totally cliche to say, but it was when I was able to really tune in and connect and pull back the layers, that's when the magic unfolded.
And so the thing is, I absolutely adore, there's one thing that you said that my angels literally were like, yeah, they were jumping about and getting all excited, was when you said giving myself permission. I always ask for guidance before lives and things, and we've decided we're going to go quite woo-woo on this one. We decided that when we got on the phone. And so one of the things that I was guided to talk about in this particular live was the fact that what do you need to perfect in your life? Now, the wording perfect is on purpose. It's not saying that we are to be perfect. And you are actually perfect as you are. Your spirit is perfect. But to perfect something, for some reason, it's the wording they want me to use. So I don't want anyone saying she's trying to make us perfect or we're trying to be perfect. But they want to ask, what areas of your life do you need to perfect? They're saying it's almost the same word, but it's like a different word when you use it in that sentence. And so what that ties into is you saying, what do you need to give yourself permission to change? And so I feel that those two fit together synchronistically, beautifully, because that is what everybody needs to do in life, is to review what areas they need to perfect. Now I'm going to give some examples. Do they need to perfect how they're treating their body, what they eat, and whether they're smoking or whether they're drinking a lot, things like that? Do they need to perfect a wonderful relationship with self so that they can go on to have a wonderful sexual romantic relationship with a partner, but by having perfecting their relationship with their self first? Do they need to perfect their friendship circle? Does that mean being absolutely, what's the word beginning with R, like when you just are, you're indiscriminate and you just get rid of like most of everybody? What word would that be, Stephanie? Do you know what I mean? It's like indiscriminate.
Yeah, well, it's head down in isolation, saturating yourself in the work.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the word. It's like being like, oh, I can't think of it. I think it begins with R, but it's basically like, being so straightforward. Oh, hello, Jillian. There's Jillian as well. She's a gorgeous girl. I feel like the three of us are some kind of trinity. It's like you have to check Jillian out afterwards. She's fabulous. She's going to be like, sorry?
Relentless.
That's the one. That's the one. And she's going to be live with me next week, Jillian, so you'll be able to see her. But yeah, so being relentless and just being like, okay, what do I need to do? And being indiscriminate as well. Like, so actually be like, okay, if I have 7 friends, who feels like an angel? Who brings me down? Who is living the life I would like to live? Who has the attitude I want to have? Whoever has the attitude you want to have, that's who you need to spend the most time with, invest the most time and energy and love in. And if there isn't anybody around you that you aspire to their attitude or to their career or something that's inspirational, then you need to probably start from scratch and work on yourself and work on your vibration so that when you come across those people, they are attracted to your energy. So sorry about that. It was just, you triggered so much from when you said giving yourself permission, because I feel that there's so many women out there that are still haven't given themselves permission, maybe to join the gym, maybe giving themselves permission to get out of their marriage, giving themselves permission to move across to another country when their mother maybe doesn't want them to. What are you not giving yourself permission on, and why? And I'd really like everyone to look at that today.
I love this. And usually the lack of permission that we give ourselves comes from this space within us that doesn't feel worthy. And so really, what is the part of you, what is the piece for you that isn't feeling like you either don't think that you can have it or you shouldn't have it? There's shame around this. What does that look like for you? And that's not always easy to look at. And when you do, when you're able to, that is really where so much peace and healing and love and abundance, that's really the foundation of all of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally, again, I just keep rephrasing your words. Your words are incredible here, but that's like, why do you not deserve it? So now I want you guys, you've looked at an area of your life, and now I want you to add that into the sentence. So let's say you haven't spent the time loving yourself so that you can have a good romantic relationship. So now you need to say, why do I not deserve a happy romantic relationship? Or if you haven't taken the time to go to the gym and get your body feeling strong and feeling beautiful and feeling healthy, then why do you not deserve to have a beautiful body? And then if you have still got a friend circle around you and that friend circle contains toxic people, why do you not deserve to have positive friends? So it's like really like asking yourself these tough questions, and then what am I going to do about it?
I think too, there's this piece of not really knowing what we want, especially as women, right? And so taking a moment with yourself to dial into that and ask yourself, what do I want? What do I need to, what do I need to step into? Who do I need to become in order to create that result? And,
absolutely.
And then allowing the co-creation to happen.
Yes.
Right?
So I say to people, if you are stuck and you don't know what you want, then start with what you know if you don't know what you want, then start with what you know you don't want. And that's if you're stuck. Not everybody's stuck, but if you're stuck and you don't know what you want, start making a list of what you know you don't want. And it's a start. Well, say, oh, well, I don't want to stay living here. So, okay, so where are you going to move to? I don't want to stay in this marriage. Okay, so then what are you going to do about it? I don't want to continue putting on weight year after year. I don't want to, or let's do the opposite. I'm not eating enough. I'm not eating enough, and I know that this is weakening my strength and not enabling me to be as strong as I could be or have the endurance. And I'd love to run a marathon. I'd love to climb a mountain, and I need to feed my body more strength, But it's like asking yourself, because the thing is, you are your own guru. Everybody is their own guru. Everyone's higher self. Everyone has a higher self, and that is your guru. The only reason why we jokingly call me a guru is because I can help you tune into your inner guru, Would you like to tell me a little bit about your work, darling? About what you do with your clients?
So I support female entrepreneurs, and they tend to be coaches or creatives, and they just have this big mission that they have been successful in bringing to the world. And they're at a point now where it is a fuck yes moment. And they are ready to break through whatever ceiling that is for them. And they want to do it now.
Yeah. No messing around.
No.
Well, that was going to be my next question, which was, who describe your ideal client?
She is not always totally tuned into the full power that she holds. She is powerful beyond measure, and a part of her gets it, but not fully. And so that's where I come in to reflect that back to her. But everything that she is wanting to be and create and do and experience, we look at that and then we create that times 10. Because one thing, it's so easy for us to think about what we could accomplish in a year. And so what I love to play with is, well, what do you really think you could do in that year? Because we often play small, we shortchange ourselves, and this isn't really about pushing, it's about uncovering the true power that you hold to really create something extraordinary in the world.
Absolutely. And in case anybody's interested, because I don't know exactly who we have here, my ideal clients are, I call them divine feminine ascension pioneers. They're my favorites. And what I mean by that is women that are on the path, they have done some work on themselves, or they have just reached a level of stability in their life in terms of the fact that their 3D needs are taken care of. They've got the career, they've got the apartment, they've got the wardrobe, they've got themselves together, but they're like, there must be more. There must be more. So it's either women that have achieved a level of stability and they know there must be more, and they know that there's this other level of happiness that they can attain. They're not sure if everyone else can, but they know they can, and they know I can get them to it. Or they are ascension pioneers that are working deeply on the earth to bring us into 5D, and they're really working and they're really knowledgeable, but they also know that they hold on to some 3D wounds, some things from their past that are just stopping them, and they don't know how to get rid of them, and they've tried, and so then they come to me so I can do the last 10 steps of their healing. So that's why we just have some great energy here, guys, because we got two goddesses being watched by all the goddesses. I mean, can you get much better than that?
Feel it.
Yeah. So that's who my ideal clients are. And then the main thing that I do is that I help you complete the last 10 steps of your healing. So I'm not the person, a lot of people think of like life coaches and they're like, oh, I have a friend that's depressed, I'll send it to you. And it's like, no, send me your most positive, successful friend. That's what I want. I have cardiac surgeons, I have lawyers, I have other coaches. I have winners, you know, a lot of winners are my clients, nurses, mothers, you know, these are strong women, and I'm able to help them get to that last, you know, to complete their healing. So it's just really, you know, there isn't better work really than what we do. We are living the dream, I guess, aren't we, darling?
Answering the call. So I'm so curious, what do you think it is about the powerful women that you serve that, because they have said yes, they've said fuck yes, right? And so for anyone watching that might just be wondering, well, I feel powerful. How do I really play full out? What would you say to that?
So it depends on which arena they're in. You know what I mean? It sounds like if someone's in like running their own business and things like that, and their energy is leading them to you, they should have a chat with you and see what you might be able to do for them. And then at the same time, if they're feeling my energy and they want to do it, like, you know, a free coaching call with myself, one of my coaches, we just have a chat. And you see how energy is everything. You know, you're feeling our energy, you're vibing our energy now, and we just continue that process. Basically, we continue it where then you actually, you know, you can go on our websites, you can watch our training, or whatever it is that Stephanie has that she provides that's on her website, and then go from there. It's like, business women like ourselves, we enable it to make it possible so that people can flow in, and we provide whatever, you know, we provide a lot of things for a lot of different people depending on what they need, you know. If I was to try and give a short class in like 5 minutes of how to clear the mind, it would go like something like this. It would be: fall into the present, understand that your ego is not your friend. There is a real battle between light and dark going on within you and outside of you. The battle within you is between your ego and your higher self. Your higher self wants abundance, love, and prosperity, and all things that are good in the world. Your ego is actually trying to destroy you. It's not on your best interest at all. It is not your friend. So what you have to understand is that the ego lives on negative emotions. Those negative emotions tend to be things that you inherited from your parents. There's ancestral stuff, as well as things that took place in your childhood. As you release those things, and as you gain clarity and are able to feel compassion for all those that have had a part in your life, this actually drains the food away from the ego and helps you to stay in a more positive mind frame. And this helps to keep that negative voice, that shadow, inner critic, all the different words for it. But the goal is to get that to go to sleep, so then you're just left in peace and clarity and are able to follow the guidance. And the guidance that you get will take you everywhere you want to go.
Oh, yes. Drains the food from the ego. Brilliant. That's so good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. That is what I specialize in, is the forgiveness work. I just do the deepest, thoroughest, no stone left unturned. Like, it's literally like the equivalent of having a petri dish with bacteria in it, and we spray bleach in it and we get rid of all of it. It's cleaned out. A lot of work is more like someone going in and scratching the petri dish. So they've kind of done something, but I literally spray bleach in there and clear out the whole thing. It's food grade bleach though, so fit for human consumption.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So saying yes to life. Again, if you don't know what you want, figure out what you don't want and use that as a road sign to start getting yourself on the path. Also, I'm being told, you know, if you have a business, because a lot of this is probably the same for your clients when they've already started it, and mine that are in the beginnings of starting it. Like, a lot of the girls, again, they're in a reasonably good position. They've got stability in their life, but there's a business that they'd quite like to do, but they're just not allowing themselves to do it. And it's so easy to just be distracted. Oh, well, you know, I'll do this. Oh, well, but to actually get focused and say, I am going to do this. This is the time frame, and it's happening. You know, again, it's who you surround yourself by. Because if you're around people that are not really doing much, they will actually make you feel bad for doing a lot, because you're making them face the reality of the fact that they're not doing a lot. So, example, you're sat in a bar, 4 or 5 girls, and you're like, right, that's it. I'm going to get my yoga instruction and I'm going to set up this and I'm going to do this. And they're like, really? Don't you think that's a bit of a lot? Like, well, what if it doesn't work out? And you're like, And then the others are like, yeah, my friend did that, it didn't work out. So now this girl who went in there with all this energy and drive and direction, water's just been poured on the flame and put it out because of who she chooses to socialize with. Now let's imagine she meets with us and we're in TGI Fridays and we're having non-alcoholic margaritas or something, and she comes in and she sits with us and she's like, right, I'm going to get this yoga studio set up and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And we're like, really? Yes. So I'm like, okay, so where have you looked so far? Have you spoken to this person? And she's like, oh, Stephanie's like, well, okay, well, this is a good 3-point plan. What about blah, blah, blah? Like, you see the difference? You see the difference? Now, the girl that goes home in that car is a completely different girl. All because of who she spends her time with.
It's so true. Environment and community is everything. And just as important is the stuff that we feed, what's in between our own 2 ears, right? And so I find that it's so easy to go through life with training wheels on our bike, right? So I'm going to launch this program and no one signs up and I pull back and I retreat. Or I launch the program and I do it until it takes.
Until it works.
That's a difference. That's a different energy, right? And a lot of it just comes down to a decision, right? Making the decision and the choice to do what it takes until it takes in any arena of your life or profession or business.
Yes. And dream big and visualize and be clear on what you are trying to achieve, which is what I do with all my graduates on their graduation call. We do a plan for their life, for their whole life. It's literally, what did you tell God you would do when you got down here? Like we work it all out. We're like, what is everything that you are to achieve in this life? And we go through it in detail. And it's important. But at the same time, we also need to be able to, at that point, then say, okay, now let's get 3 logical steps together. We've got this big plan, okay? You know, we want to open 20,000 schools across the world to help impoverished young girls to feel loved, for example. Great. What do we do now? What are the 3 logical steps you can do right now? Oh, okay. Oh, you want to teach yoga and things like that. Okay, so get qualified in that. Oh, and you want to help these young girls? Why don't you actually invite them to a class? Why don't you rent a hall and actually just have them come and start that? And then guess what? Now their mums come, and then now you start getting, that's a paid thing, and now you do retreats, now you do mother and daughter retreats, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But it's all to do with actually working out what logical steps, and it doesn't matter how small.
And imperfect action, right? That's it. Progress over perfection.
Yeah, make the phone call. If you just need to, if it's like, well, I could call the bank and I could probably get, a loan, and I could probably, take a lease on that store or whatever, make the phone call. Make the phone call. There's nothing to lose. It's just the small things that we often get stuck on. We're like, we don't do the thing that we should do that would make all the difference. Just make the phone call, And again, if you're interested, if you're interested in the things we're talking about that we work in, make the phone call with us. Have a chat. Have a chat. If it doesn't work for you, that's cool. Maybe you were meant to have a chat because you're meant to recommend it to one of your friends. Maybe you're meant to do what we do. Maybe you're meant to come to us and train under us and do what we do and work with us. I don't know. But take action,
I love that. I love that. And it's allowing yourself to give yourself a gift, whatever that gift is for you in this moment, and not making it mean anything, right? And I have a lot of women that will sign up for a breakthrough session and want to get on the phone, and then they cancel the call because somewhere along the way they create this story that they're not going to be far enough along to talk to me. They're not going to be ready to invest and all of these things. But what if you just showed up for the call
and just see what happens?
Your life to be transformed in a single hour in a way that never would have been possible. and it's the law of potentiality, right? You can either go this way or you go this way, and it really just comes down to the choice and the decision.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the way that you said creating stories, because that's very much the case. You know, often most girls that book a call with us, they do want to do something with us, and it depends on, you know, we have things, like I said, to suit all budgets, so it's not really relevant to that. But what I find is the ones that actually make the call, the commitment that it takes to just make that call and do it. There's such phenomenal women. Honestly, it's just unbelievable. It's like God's literally handpicking the most amazing women on earth and sending them to me. I feel so blessed. And then at the same time, there's ladies that are just hovering and holding back. And it's like, but why? Yeah. What is holding you back? Because again, you know, it's, to be honest with you, and I'm sure you're the same as me, I'm really fussy with who I work with. Nobody can just book my time. You can't go anywhere and just buy my time. I actually have to really vibe someone and feel the energy, and that's what we do in the call. I really, like, you know, with myself and with Alicia, we actually learn about each other, and I teach you about yourself. I can't help but help you. It's what I do for a living, you know. So everybody feels really good after the phone call, regardless of whether they move forward, because that's what it's all about. You know, it's about, you know, when you're here to serve the world, just because you run a business, it doesn't stop you from serving everybody you meet and everyone you have contact with, you know. It's like I said to Alicia, I was like, you know, you have to walk your walk and walk your talk, you know. So I think it's really interesting. I think it's really interesting because, yeah, there's a lot of women creating these stories, but these stories, this kind of ties everything together when I was saying, what areas of your life do you need to perfect? The reason those areas haven't been perfected is because a story has been created that keeps them in a state of inertia where they are not perfecting that area. So maybe it's time for us to start looking at what stories are being created also, you know?
Yes, the storybook of our lives. That's where it lies.
It's true. It's true. So how about yourself? If you were to say to somebody, okay, this is the best way to say yes to life, what would be your advice, darling?
Anything that is not a hell yes right now needs to be a no.
Okay. So I think that's interesting because of what I know about the ego. So I just want to run that through my filter a minute. Because the one problem I've come across is that sometimes the one thing that's going to change someone's life and make their life so much better, the thing that's going to impact them the most, that has the most resistance on it. And so it can be hard. It's easy for them to lean into the resistance and say, oh, I'm not sure. Does that make sense? Because the thing is when, you know, when some, sorry?
What comes to mind? What's an example?
So let's say, okay, so a very good friend of mine is leasing out one of her buildings, and there was this lady, and it was so perfect for her. She wants to have a restaurant, and this building was so perfect, and she knew exactly how she wanted to do it, what she wanted to spend per month, everything. And the only thing that was messing with it was that it was a few $100s above the budget of what she wanted to spend. And in the end, the people that own the whole building, they own lots of buildings, they agreed to her price. And then she just pulled out and was like, oh, it's too expensive. And I could literally psychically feel it, that she'd spoken to some other women who didn't understand business, that didn't understand restaurants, that didn't know what this woman knew. But the people she spoke to said it's too expensive based upon running it through their own filters and their own life experience. And so this woman didn't go ahead. And I think that was because of, so it's basically, she leaned into her fears. And if anything, even if she didn't have the fears, she started acquiring other people's fears around her. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And so that's the kind of thing. And actually, I offered to coach this lady to just send, you know, in fact, I left a WhatsApp voice note for my friend, and she forwarded it to the lady. So that, because I was saying, look, when we're about to do the biggest thing that's going to change our life forever, we go into fear quite often, and we have to mentally compute it and change it to excitement. But if we don't do that switch and say, this isn't scary, this is exciting, I'm doing it. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm trying to connect this back because I'm thinking, okay, so when I made the biggest investment ever in my business, 2 5-figure investments in the same year, I was scared shitless. And yet there was still deep in here, there was some fear hanging out over here. There was this inherent hell yes that I couldn't avoid. And so I completely, I receive it and I feel what you're meaning. And that is the common reality of most people. And I just wonder, there's a piece of knowing if it's fear that is guiding you, or is it really is it love? It's either it's fear or love. There's no
in between, no gray area.
Yeah.
And I guess here's the point. If that lady had you in her life, when she found the restaurant, the location, she would have called and said, I found it, it's perfect. And then she would have gone ahead with it, because you would have been like, you want it? She would be like, yeah, say fuck yeah, and that's it. She would have done it. The problem is she didn't speak to fuck yeah people. She spoke to, it's expensive. That's the problem. So I guess, and I understand, like I said, most of the women that come to me, that join my program, like literally, like they get on the phone, they're like, I'm doing this. And I'm like, well, can we like have a chat? I'm doing it. Like they've already made the decision before they even get on the phone. And I don't expect that. I want to talk and find out. But yes, these are fuck yes, hell yes women that come to me. And a lot of them are very strong alpha women. But I do want some gentle girls too. So if you're a bit gentle, we are here for you.
The doors are open.
Yes. But I seem to attract very alpha, strong, independent, successful, intelligent women. Really intelligent.
Yeah. And it sounds, my guess, my instinct is that they are often more committed to their dream than their fears. And that's the big difference.
And that's what I do in the discovery call. I basically try to find out how committed they are to getting to where they want to get to. Because if you're not committed, I can't jump in and do the work. I can't climb in your head and do it for you. But if you're committed, I can absolutely take you where you need to go, you know? Yeah. Oh, it's Jacqueline's joined us. Jacqueline is one of my longest clients. Actually, I've been with her from like the beginning. She's actually a television anchor for Fox News. So yeah, she's a very sweet girl. Yes, and there's a lot of girls. There's so many. It's hard to call out everyone's names, but I spotted Jacqueline there, and she is just the sweetest soul. Jacqueline, let's catch up soon. But yeah, so I mean, I think that the thing is it's all about embracing life and saying yes. And maybe it kind of, the full circle is where I said, if you don't know what you want, know what you don't want. So if the answer to having the life of your dreams is saying hell yes, then ask yourself, where are you saying no, where you shouldn't be?
Oh, yes. Love that.
Mm-hmm. Where are you saying no? Where are you making excuses to keep yourself in a place where you don't want to be? Now, again, some girls are in perfect shape. They're off to the gym. They're looking wonderful. Well, maybe they need to do some internal work. Maybe there's other girls that are eating terribly, but they're actually a coach and they're coaching people on positive stuff, but they're not really living it and walking the walk themselves. Everyone has an area to perfect. And again, the goal is not to become perfect, but what area do we need to perfect? Because that way we can start evolving. And don't try and do everything at once. Don't be like, oh my God, I need to get rid of all my friends, become a vegan, go to the gym, and start a new business, get a loan, and go on a retreat. No. You don't have to do those things.
Some ladies might try and take that path. That's totally fine.
Say that again?
Some ladies might try and take that fast track path.
Yes, but I mean, to be honest with you, doing my program is so hard that the only thing I ask them to do is no casual dating. Like anything, don't try and do anything else. This is enough. For the next 6 weeks, trust me, you don't want to be trying to do any extra stuff. And it's not because it takes up the time, but it really, really takes up It's really thorough shadow work. And again, you don't have to do it again. When you're 70 or 80 years old, you'll look back and be like, I'm so glad I did that in that month of that year, and it changed my life forever. You know, and the same thing with you.
When we're in that growth edge space, it's like sometimes we need to slow down in order to speed up. Right?
Well, because again, the higher self is our guru. And so, sometimes you need to slow right down so that you can tune into what your inner guru is telling you to do. And as a result, you'll get on track that way as well. So it's all about balance. You know, I think, you know, everybody wants there to just be one singular thing, like, oh, well, if I do this, or this is right, this is wrong. But I would say isolate one area in your life that you know needs work and focus on that. And get that fixed, and then work on the next one, and then work on the next one. Just take it one thing at a time, because you know, the longest journey starts with just a couple of steps. And so just doing some small steps, you'll look back in 3 months and be like, whoa, because you just take a small step every day, you know. And the fact is, here's the thing, guys, I want you to do something else as well. I want you to congratulate yourself. Because the fact is, I know every single person watching has perfected or achieved something great in one aspect of their life, at least. Okay? They are either an excellent friend, they're an excellent daughter, they're in excellent shape and they work out and have all this stamina, they eat excellently, they are kind to animals. And you know, it's things like that. Like, there is something in all of us that we have perfected. Now all you need to do is turn to the other. Imagine it's like a pie chart with all these little sections, like little pie slices. You've already done that one. We just need to do the next one, and then on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And as we do that, everything in life just gets brighter and bigger. And as you work on your childhood wounds and things, and you become less in ego and more in higher self, you just start having more abundance, because God wants you to be abundant. God wants you to be surrounded by flowers and, you know, things like this. This is what God wants. So understand that this can all happen for you. You just have to just take things one step at a time. Any more advice on that, my darling, from you?
Oh, I just think that's so beautifully put, and it takes some pressure off, right? We don't have to. Change does not require us to strip fully down from day one. It's this peeling back of the layers, and like you were saying, it's just a constant creation of a new baseline. And when you do the thing here and work through the thing here, you go up. There's no other way to go.
Yes.
And then you clear the thing here and you go up and up and up, and your vibration is going up, and everything just rises.
Yeah, and guess what?
One tiny step.
Yeah, and guess what? Every time you rise higher, everybody in your field of vision, everybody around you, they're coming up too, because you can't help but be even more of a pleasure in people's lives. Yes. You become more of a blessing. The more you bless yourself, the more of a blessing you become, and the more you get blessed with more people that are blessings, and then the physical blessings arrive, and it's blessings upon blessings upon blessings, but it starts with blessing yourself.
Yes. I'm thinking now about those frustrating people that we have in our lives. They might be a loved one or someone close to us, and sometimes we want to try and change them, right?
Yes.
And I certainly used to live here myself, and so the best thing that we can do, I think Marie Forleo says this, is clean up your side of the street. And when you do that, your change, your evolution is going to naturally inspire everyone around you. And yes, collectively, we will all rise.
Yes. And the thing is, I'm definitely all about rainbows and unicorns, as everyone knows, but I also like to call out the things that, the things that maybe some people don't want to talk about. And that is that as you rise And as you get better, there will be people that don't like it, because you are making them realize how much they're not rising, and they will try and pull you back down, and they will try and hold you where they are because your rising is bothering them. So understand this: if your rising is bothering someone, that is a sign that that is someone you need to take some time out from. Okay. It's obvious. You know, they say if you win and they don't clap, they're not really your supporters. They're not really there for you. You know what I'm saying? So reevaluate. You know, obviously family's family, and on one of my lives that's on the YouTube, I go into great detail about how to deal with family members that are toxic. But for now, so I won't go into that one too much right now because that takes a long time to explain. But it's on the YouTube. And then, but with friends, remember, you choose them, guys. I don't care if you've been together and friends since basketball camp when you were 9. I don't care if you live in the same apartment building, if your offices are next to each other, if you go to the same yoga class. If that person is not of the frequency that you want to get to, or close to the frequency you want to get to, they are going to bring you down. And you have to accept that fact. It's like this: is it them or is it me? And what I mean by that is, am I going to put me first and get where I want to be, or am I going to allow their vibration to dictate how I live my life?
Yes. That is such a common theme as we grow and evolve in our journeys, right? Not everyone is going to rise with us. You're absolutely right. And we can still choose love and choose to love them anyway and wish them well. Just doesn't have to be an energetic drain.
We can love them from a distance.
Yes.
Just because, you know, someone's like, oh, you don't like me anymore. Oh, I love you. I'm just not inviting you for dinner. You know? Basically, you know? Or, yes, I used to answer the phone every day for conversations, but once I realized that it was negative, maybe I don't want to do that anymore. And that's it. And it's about, what do you want? Which is exactly what Stephanie said. What do you want? And again, this can be a key thing that people take from this life. What do you want? Establish now what you want, because otherwise, how will you know? My angels are showing it like a cross between at the fair, where you have a fishing rod with a hook and there's like wooden animals and you have to pick one up. And they're also showing me like at a sushi restaurant where you have the conveyor belt with the food going around. And it's like, you can't sit in that sushi restaurant if you don't know what you want, because otherwise they'll just keep spinning around. You'll be there for like 5 days. Food's spinning around, you know? And if you're there and you don't know which one you want to pick up, how are you going to pick up anything if you don't decide, I'm going to pick up that one? So that's what life is like. How many people are sitting in the sushi restaurant just watching the food go around, and then how many other people are enjoying their meal because they decided what they want? How many people are at the circus winning prizes and taking big fluffy toys home because they chose which one they were going to try and hook and take home? And how many are just standing there looking at it going, I don't know what to do? So as an analogy for life, are you watching and waiting for something that will never come because you are the one that has to initiate it? It's like sitting in a car and waiting for it to start driving, but you have to turn the key. You have to take an action. You have to do something. So it's like, how many are just coasting and not taking action and just being observers in their own life?
Yes. And is that the woman or the man that will create the dream, life, business, whatever that he or she really wants? Are you embodying the energy of the person that creates that? Yes or no? Because I can say, as a former indecisive person, being a woman that knows what she wants, knows how to ask for it and command it and receive it, and being a person that can make a fast decision, that feels really damn good.
Absolutely. And I mean, I feel very, very lucky for the strength of the inner guidance I have, because obviously not only does it guide me, I guide many women now as well. And it's so funny because sometimes the guidance doesn't always make sense. It will be like, do this, and you're like, huh? And it's like, just trust me and watch. And then 3 months later, it makes all the sense in the world, you know?
Yeah.
So there's another layer on from this, guys. As you start moving and doing the things that you are supposed to do and perfecting areas of your life and evolving and growing, then you become really tuned into your intuition, and your intuition becomes so strong that it will say things like, you know, go and visit this shop today, and you're like, why do I want to do that? But your intuition is telling you. So you just go there, and then you run into an old friend, or you run into someone who wants to invest in your business, or, you know, whatever. It's like this life gets so exciting as you become more and more tuned into your intuition. And I just want everyone to feel the way that we do, you know? And so it's just possible, guys. Know it's possible. Take action. Know that you can make your life what you want it to be. No one's stuck. Nobody is stuck. And God wants you to prosper and to be happy and filled with joy. And the darkness wants you to destroy yourself. So which one are you allowing to work in your life? And remember, distraction is still on the path to destroying yourself, because it's just like the people in the sushi restaurant being distracted. They're going to die of starvation by the time they choose some food, because they've been there for weeks now. They're still there, can't decide what I want, so I'm not eating because I can't decide what I want, because I can't decide what I want. Well, guess what? It's time to make a decision. It's time to start moving forward. And guess what? If you make a mistake, it's okay. Do you know why it's okay? Because you learn a lesson, and not only that, you now become a fountain of wisdom, so that when you come across another wonderful soul, you can say to them, you may not want to do that, because when I did that, this happened. So you now have some more knowledge and experience. So try, guys, try. And if you fail, it may well be part of the learning process, you know, for you. And in fact, do you find this, that in your life now, do you feel that like everything you ever did in your life before now trained you for this moment?
Every single thing.
Everything. Every mistake too, hey? Every mistake.
I started to call on and invite in more failing, because that actually is where I grow the most. And because of the woman I'm required to become to get to where I'm going. So every single thing in your journey is required. It's divinely choreographed to bring you to where you need to go.
Exactly. So no fear of mistakes, guys.
No.
Just do it. Like Nike, just do it.
Yeah.
So on that, if there's anything particularly that Stephanie has said that's just reached out to you and you're just like, oh, I want to know more, guess what? Go find out. Find out more. You know, at the end of the day, she's like me. We only work with people that we absolutely adore anyway. So there's no way for it to go badly, like, you know. So at the end of the day, find out more, see what works, and explore things, and actually get into the habit of doing this. I encourage this. If you're seeking a coach currently, interview coaches. Interview 11 of them. Ask to see their testimonials. Become a professional coach interviewer. Because I guarantee that's how you'll end up with the best coaches, because the best coach, you will be able to see the difference. You will be able to see the difference in the testimonials. You will see the difference in the discovery call or the breakthrough call. You will see the difference because the energy will be different. Become an expert on energy and go with what feels right, you know. And the same with myself. You know, if you haven't done a free call with myself, one of my coaches, just click the link in the bio and book a time and day that suits you. And we can have a call, we can have a chat, and we can see how we might be able to help you. And there's also lots of free stuff. There's a free affirmation track on my page, so anyone can download that. And obviously the community provides sisterhood for everybody, all the girls on the planet. No one's ever alone now. We all have so many friends, and so many friends maybe you haven't met yet, but so many friends. Anything else on that, darling? Because I think they may cut us off in a minute, because we've done an hour and it will kick us off.
I am so full. My heart is full. I'm just feeling the love and the sisterhood. Thank you for bringing me into the fold. And
Absolutely.
I hope was of service.
I think we should do this again. Do you agree?
I would love that.
Yeah. So let's
hell
text.
yes.
Yeah, hell yes. Fuck yeah. So let's text this week and figure out when's good. And we've actually run out of time, guys.